Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a splendid day and you're just sucking up all the juice that life has to offer. I'm trying to. I got home after playing 9 rounds of golf today, and it's springtime. The sun is staying out much longer, and the days are beautiful. Today is just a perfect day. I mean, it's not hot at all, and it's not cold at all. I'm wearing this flannel right now, pair of jeans, and there's nothing underneath this flannel, and this is perfect. I don't need anything else on, and I am not uncomfortable in any way. I could even put a light jacket on over this, and that would still be comfortable. Or I could be wearing less and I'd still be comfortable. Anyways, I was driving and I saw this Mormon church, as you can see right there. And it has this nice little grass area and this little cover or whatever you call these things. Bunch of tables out here. I'm guessing this is where they have meetings and whatnot. A little dusty. I don't know, there's not a lot of Mormons that live where I live. I think there's only like 3 of these buildings in my town. I don't think I've ever known a Mormon here growing up. And they call these steakhouses. I think that's what these are called. Fucking sun's in my eyes. Steakhouse. Not like a steakhouse like Outback Steakhouse, but like a steak. Like you stake a piece of wood into the ground. I think that's what these are. And then the people that you go to church with are is a ward. So like Johnny's in my ward, and we go to the same steak. We had a steak meeting today, or whatever, something like that. Anyways, one thing I want to talk about is old rock bands. And honestly, most of these guys need to retire. I'm a big fan of music. I love rock. I mean, I love all kinds of stuff. I'm not just a fan of rock. But I remember when I first got into music and I started to discover what I really liked, I really realized that I like rock music the most, particularly a lot of like older rock music. And I don't know, just something about it holds up very well and remains some of the most interesting and creative music within the last 50, 60 years, which is pretty much as long as it's been around. But the thing we got to face at this point in time is that these guys are old. And when this music was made, when it was made 40, 50 years ago, 60 years ago in some cases, you know, it wasn't meant to be performed by the same people in 40 to 50 years. Rock and roll, as they say, is a young man's game. It is something that is for a young body, a young soul, a young mind. It is a lifestyle that you can only endure for so long. And that's included in the music, because the music is intense. And it is, you know, something to be played with a lot of energy and a lot of ferociousness. And it's not to be played lightly. It's meant to be played with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. Well, the guys that made this music when they were young. And when you try to play that same music when you're 60, I wouldn't say 60. You can still sound good at 60. I would say more like 65 up, 70. You start to sound a little burnout and tired, and your body just isn't capable of doing what it once was able to do when you were 25, 30 years old. And so we got all these guys out here. We got AC/DC on tour. We have, Billy Joel still out there doing it. Heart is still out there doing it. We have, I think Journey is still going. We have, there's a lot. There's a lot. I think I heard something about Ozzy Osbourne, who is now 76 years old, doing a 60th anniversary concert with Black Sabbath. Ozzy is worn the fuck out. He is not only old, but he is trashed and has a lot of health issues from his life of decadence. All the drinking, partying, smoking, and other shit. I don't know what that guy hasn't done. At this age, it's remarkable that he's even still alive and he can even still get out there and sing. But when he gets out there, is he going to sound good? I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure it's going to be embarrassing. I'm sure it's not going to sound great. And I'm sure Black Sabbath, given how old they are at this point, aren't going to be playing like they once did. These guys need to throw in the towel. And I'm saying this as a guy who's a fan of this music. We don't want this music, because I don't want this music to be remembered like this. And I don't want these people that made this music to be remembered in this way. We want to remember them at their peak, not when they're 70, 75 years old and they can hardly sing. They can hardly play their instruments. Respect the man immensely. Immense respect. Phil Collins. Probably one of my favorite musicians of all time. Should not have gone on tour the last few times he went on tour, which was once by himself, and then the second time was with Genesis. I remember hearing about that, and I was kind of disappointed to hear that. I was not interested in seeing them at all, number one. But I knew that Phil was not a healthy man, that he couldn't walk. Biggest of all, he can't really sing anymore like he did. And I watched those clips of the band of Genesis on their last tour, and the band sounded tight. I'll give them credit for that. They sounded really good. But Phil could not sing, and he was sitting in a chair because he can't walk. And I think there was even a show where he fell over on stage. This music was not meant to be played by cripples. I'm sorry, old cripples. I don't want to say that about Phil Collins, but the man's old, and he's aged really, really poorly, and his body has aged really, really poorly. But there's one band I have a lot of respect for, and I'm glad they finished when they did, and that's Rush. Rush is my favorite band, and I'm glad that they threw in the towel when they did. And a lot of people have been speaking about, maybe a reunion, maybe them getting together with another drummer and whatnot. But they even made it clear quite recently that they aren't going to do that. And I think that's good. We don't need another Rush tour. We don't need we just don't. We don't need to see a band like them, a band at their caliber, a band that put out all the great music that they put out, get out there again and do it not only without one of the original members, that being Neil, who passed away some years ago, but also getting out there and not really doing it as good as they were once able to do it. They were still good when they quit. Granted, Geddy's voice was struggling, but still as a band, they were playing quite well. At this point, I don't think they would. Maybe, but we don't need it. We just don't. This music is meant to live on. It's meant to be celebrated and listened to throughout time, but nobody's getting younger. And the guys that made these songs and this music and these albums, they've gotten old. The time has passed. And they ain't getting any younger. And none of these guys are really going to sound any better as the years go on. And that's not to be depressing or anything. I don't want to be depressing. It's just the truth. So, for the goodness of these guys' legacy, it's time to throw in the towel. It's time to hang it up. I really do think that it's time to hang it up for these guys. And leave room for other bands and other artists, hopefully, like them, to come in and make way. But the music industry has changed, I'll tell you that. They don't embrace that style of music anymore like they once did. But we'll see. We'll see how things change. Anyways, just wanted to stop and make this. And, yeah, put this one out there. All right. You guys take it easy. Peace.